Power, money, and scandal. When politicians abuse their position, the fall from grace can be massive. Today, we're diving into 5 jaw-dropping cases of corrupt politicians who didn't just make headlines, they ended up behind bars. From bribery and fraud to wiretaps and backdoor deals, these cases prove no one is above the law. At least not always. Let's get into it. Number 1. In 2008, Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich made national news for a stunning act of political greed, trying to sell Barack Obama's vacated Senate seat to the highest bidder. Caught on FBI wiretap saying the seat was effing golden, Blagojevich openly discussed how much he could get in exchange: cash, cabinet positions, or campaign contributions. The audacity was mind-blowing. He was arrested in December 2008 and found guilty on 18 counts, including wire fraud, extortion, and bribery. In 2011, he was sentenced to 14 years in federal prison. But in 2020, after serving 8 years, President Donald Trump commuted his sentence, calling it excessive. Blago walked free, but not without becoming a cautionary tale of political corruption caught on tape. Number 2. Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, affectionately known as Lula, was a working-class hero in Brazil. He served as president from 2003 to 2010 and helped pull millions out of poverty. But in 2017, Lula was convicted of corruption and money laundering in connection with the massive Operation Car Wash scandal. Prosecutors accused him of accepting a luxury beachfront apartment from construction giant Odebrecht in exchange for political favors. He denied it all, calling the charges politically motivated, but was still sentenced to 12 years in prison. In 2018, he began serving his sentence, effectively ending his campaign to return to office. But the story didn't end there. In 2021, Brazil's Supreme Court ruled that the judge overseeing Lula's case was biased, nullifying the conviction. Lula was freed after 580 days in prison, and in 2022, he won re-election, becoming president once again. Number 3. Park Geun-hye are impeached and imprisoned. In South Korea, Park Geun-hye made history as the country's first female president, and later, its first democratically elected leader to be removed from office and jailed. In 2016, it was revealed she had allowed her close confidant, Choi Soon-sil, to meddle in state affairs, extort massive corporate donations, and manipulate government policies. The scandal rocked the nation, sparking mass protests known as the Candlelight Revolution. Park was impeached in 2017, arrested shortly after, and ultimately found guilty of bribery, coercion, and abuse of power. The sentence? 25 years in prison, later reduced to 20. But in 2021, after 4 years behind bars, she was pardoned by the government on health and humanitarian grounds. Her fall from power was swift, dramatic, and remains one of the biggest political scandals in Asia's recent history. Number 4. Silvio Berlusconi, Italy's Teflon billionaire. Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi was known for his media empire, billionaire lifestyle, and non-stop scandals. But in 2012, the Teflon finally wore off. Berlusconi was convicted of tax fraud related to his company Mediaset, which used offshore accounts to avoid paying taxes on film rights. It was part of a broader web of financial misconduct, shady deals, and political backscratching. Though he was sentenced to 4 years in prison, Italian law, and Berlusconi's age, helped him avoid jail. He served 1 year under house arrest and community service at a facility for Alzheimer's patients. That wasn't his only scandal. He was also charged in the infamous Bunga Bunga sex party trial, where he was accused of paying for sex with an underage girl, but that conviction was overturned. Still, his tax conviction stood, and it banned him from holding public office for several years. Despite this, Berlusconi remained a powerful figure in Italian politics until his death in 2023. Number 5. Kwame Kilpatrick, Detroit's fall from grace. Detroit's youngest ever mayor, Kwame Kilpatrick, once symbolized hope for a struggling city. But behind the scenes, Kilpatrick ran City Hall like a criminal enterprise. In 2013, he was convicted on 24 federal felony counts, including racketeering, bribery, extortion, and mail fraud. Prosecutors said Kilpatrick rigged city contracts, pocketed kickbacks, and used public funds to bankroll a lavish lifestyle, including private jets, luxury SUVs, and more. The case painted a picture of massive abuse, millions stolen while the city was falling into bankruptcy. He was sentenced to 28 years in federal prison, one of the longest sentences ever handed to a U.S. mayor. But in January 2021, President Trump commuted his sentence, freeing Kilpatrick after 7 years behind bars. Today, he's out running a ministry and giving speeches, but his legacy remains deeply tied to corruption and betrayal. Well, there you have it, 5 politicians went to jail. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out our other content right here. Click the video. Go ahead, click it. Until next time.